Hey guys, welcome back to the Mindcrack server. An all-out assault on my zombie pigness is currently underway. And let's see, I've just been in here in the desert collecting some more sand. Actually, there was more monsters before. They're kind of spread out right now. But anyway, I was out here collecting more resources. My last super shovel is almost gone. Hey, zombie! Ew. Today, I'm finally going to let you guys have a copy of the texture pack I use. And not just one. I have 3 texture packs for you. And they're going to say 1.3 in the title. They aren't actually updated for 1.3. I haven't added the... Oh, there goes my shovel. Is it really gone? Yep. I haven't actually added the... the emeralds and the emerald block textures. I will update that when that comes out. Actually, let's go ahead and get 2 full stacks, then we'll head back to the house. I almost have a full inventory. Oh man, I wanted this here so I can see when this finishes. Yeah, so this shovel's way slower. Whoops, whatever. Oh, zombie. Okay, and before we get to the texture pack stuff, I'm actually going to do a real short tutorial on how I make the tools. Before we do that, let's go back to the temporary sheep farm, and I feel the need to address some of the reactions to the prank discovery video, which was Mindcrack number 49, where I discovered the Team Canada's most recent prank. And I think there was some misunderstandings and misinterpretations of things I said. And I think most of the problem was that the people who reacted the strongest against my reaction to the prank were people who probably came here directly from Etho's video. Most of the negative comments happened right after he posted his prank video. And I think the problem is that a lot of the people who came here, that was the first video of mine they had ever seen. You can see I've cleaned up all the paintings. Actually, I forgot to do this. I'll go get to that later. And I've left a pretty good amount of the ones in here. I genuinely think this looks pretty cool. It looks really crazy. I mean, all of my paintings on my texture pack are Monet paintings. But if you look at the entities in the top left, the E, currently I'm looking at 610 out of 1904. So Pyro is on line 2, but 1900 is about all the entities in my area that are loaded from my game right now, my client. And paintings count. I think I've got about 200-ish sheep and a handful of other farm animals in here. But the lag is still... I think they're going to cause a little bit of lag, so I think I'm going to remove some of the paintings. While I talk, I'm probably going to remove the ones from the glass here. I'm sort of deliberating on whether to keep this or to keep these walls here. I may only do one. I think I'm going to keep this because it just looks neat, genuinely. And let's come down here. Oh, I'll probably remove these two. But someone in the comments suggested I remove them with snowballs. So let's come in here to my little staging area from the Vintage Beef Candyland prank. Oh, actually, let me get rid of all this sandstone first. And then I will harvest a bunch of snowballs to shoot off the paintings. Knocking off paintings is kind of buggy in multiplayer, I noticed, when I cleaned up the prank afterwards. Okay, oh no, I want those arrows. So let's go ahead and put all this stuff in here. Oops. I don't need that. Okay, so a lot of people, the ones who had some really negative comments, probably most of those people came from Etho's channel, and that video was the first video of mine they'd ever seen. Oh, by the way, this is how I gathered so much snow for the Vintage Beef prank. You just, I think this only works in multiplayer, and sometimes See here, it's going normal speed. You just have to sort of move around a little bit until it, like that, it clicks into super speed. So a lot of them didn't have a frame of reference. I guess to interpret my humor. Most of the time I have fairly dry humor, and I'm also kind of silly. So when I was critiquing the prank, I was doing so very much tongue-in-cheek. I don't really think that every prank should take 10 hours, or that only one person should prank another person, or that it was, you know, a lot of the things that were inferred in the comments. For one thing, one of the things I like about Mindcrack is that we have about 20 different people that make videos and a couple of people that don't make videos. But about 20. Here, let me actually put some space in here so I can actually pick up these paintings. Pick those up too. The thing that's great about Mindcrack is you've got this huge variety of people, personalities, play styles, video making styles. See, this is... Oh, there we go. Pow, pow, pow! Different people build differently, and I think that is what is great about the server. And I wouldn't have it any way if everyone started acting the same, or started pranking like me, or building like me, or acting like me. I think that would be boring as hell. So don't take my my good-natured ribbing of their prank, the sort of fun shit-talking, as anything other than what it was. We're all friends on the server. Etho was actually over here yesterday, I think, after the prank had been finished, and we were just messing around. He was looking at stuff I was building. So we're all friends on the server. Sometimes I have a very dry sense of humor. And I like variety in just about everything. Sometimes people ask, like, what's the best movie ever made, or what's the best game ever made? And I think that's a flawed question, because I like variety. So if I could only ever have one game ever, I kind of think that would suck. And if there was only one way of pranking on the server, that would also suck. Actually, before their prank on me, I didn't have real firm plans on my next prank. I hadn't actually retired. I was just going to take a break, because I had done 4 pretty large pranks at that point. But the next prank I had considered doing actually was not going to be one huge prank, but 8 smaller pranks in one video. I had this idea for the next time I decided to do a prank, just to do 8, just to like hit like half the people on the server in one video. I thought that would be funny and unexpected, because of my previous history of doing huge pranks. But that's not what I'm doing now, obviously, because now I have Team Canada get back again. And this is a war of escalation. They did something relatively minor to me. It took me maybe 30 minutes to clean up, and then I did something extreme to them. Let's see, let's get more snowballs. There. Okay. So I was not upset. Don't misunderstand good-natured shit-talking for anything other than what it was. If you are new to my videos, and I know it was a vocal minority that responded like that, and most people in the comments were discussing it like what it was just good-natured shit-talking. That's it, and we're all good friends. So that's it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And I still hold to what I said, that there will be payback. There will be another prank, obviously, but I'm not planning on pranking them back anytime soon, because I have done 4 big pranks, and I'd like to make a lot of progress on the lens. So I'm going to be focusing on progress on the lens for a while. Yeah. Yep, that's it. So I guess now we can get to the texture pack stuff. Oop. Okay, so I'm gonna do something I've never done before, and I'm not gonna film. I'm gonna film some stuff, or try anyway, in Photoshop, just to give a brief rundown of of what I did, my reasons why, and all that. Okay, so here we go. This is actually my first time recording my desktop like this, instead of just recording a game. So hopefully everything goes smoothly. Let's see, so people have asked for the texture pack, which I'm going to give you the updated version in just a minute, but people have also asked me, how do you go about editing a texture pack? So I'm going to give you a few very quick basics. It's going to be a really quick tutorial. I'm just going to breeze through some things. Here's all the texture packs I have. I have a lot. Some of them I like, some of them are eh. But anyway, the two main files you want to look at, let's just open one at random, are the terrain.png here. Okay, this has all the blocks. There's pumpkin, rails, torches, everything that counts as a block. So that's one thing you might want to edit if you want different blocks. And then the other main file, which we're going to concentrate on, is in the GUI, Graphical User Interface folder, and it's called Items. And this probably looks familiar. It's got all the armor, items, tools, weapons, things that drop from animals and monsters, all that kind of stuff. And this is the thing that I've edited the most, and this is what I'm going to show you in a second. This isn't my texture pack, by the way. So let's go ahead and close that now that you know how to find it. So I am using right now Adobe Fireworks, which is kind of similar to Photoshop a little bit. The only reason I'm using this is because I have an old copy of the Adobe Suite on my computer, and I found this one to be this program Fireworks to be a little bit easier to edit pixel graphics, sprites, than Photoshop, which is more for painting things and doing gradients and stuff, and I just want to edit things pixel by pixel. I found this to be a little bit easier. Both these programs are overkill, so you can use MS Paint to do this stuff. It may be a little more cumbersome, and I'm sure there are also free sprite editing programs that people have made. You can probably do a Google search for free bitmap editor or free sprite editor, that kind of stuff, and I'm sure something will come up. Okay, so here is the custom pack that you know and love. Here are my armor icons. This is Leather. This is Cup, the Transformer. They're all Transformers. This is Ratchet. This is the Chainmail, which never really got seen because you have to hack Chainmail into the game. This is Iron, Optimus Prime. This is Grimlock, Diamond, and Bumblebee Gold. So these are all going bye-bye because you can't see people's faces on a multiplayer server. It's kind of anti-intuitive. But what I have done is updated the tools and weapons. And so here's the ones I originally created. And there were some things I liked and some things I didn't like. And so what I wanted to do when I updated them is I wanted to reinforce sort of the horizontal and the vertical progression or similarity, I guess you might say. So for instance, in the vertical, we have things of all one material. They all use the same color palette. Horizontal, tools all of the same type. They should all be recognizable as that tool type. So there were certain problems, and I'll just go through my own personal criticisms of my own texture pack. The iron sword is a big cleaver. I think the icon looks good, but in-game, people commented a lot. It looks like a pillow because you can only see like this edge here. And I agree with that, so I decided to change this. And I also decided to change the stone sword because it looks a little weird. Stone swords don't really exist very often in history because stone just breaks. People really made stone spears, and then when they started manipulating metal, they started making swords for the most part. But I decided to have more of a progression, go from sort of the wimpy. I did keep the cricket bat though, because I think this is funny. But I want a progression to go from to yes to gaudy and kind of ornate. for the gold, because it's a little bit over the top and not very useful, but it's supposed to look pretty. So other things, the shovel head on this diamond shovel is a little too big. I don't like this. See this right here? This sort of where it tapers down to a smaller point. I decided I didn't like that because on a longer sword that may look cool, but for this one it's a little bit too much of a ovally shape. A diamond pickaxe, I never liked how this looked. It didn't look as like these all look like they were made. This looks like a crystal that somebody found, and I didn't think it fit in. The stone pickaxe and the stone shovel, or stone pickaxe and stone axe, they always look too similar. They're a little bit easy to mistake, particularly people who have never seen the texture pack before. So I wanted to address that, and I also wanted to redo these two hoes here. I thought they were a little too curvy, I guess. That's the only thing I can say. And wanted to make new armors. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the finished one. Okay, here is the updated texture pack. You can see I've gone back to the default armors, and I tried for a long time, and this is part of the reason why the texture packs have been so delayed, is because I just cannot make a decent looking armor. It's really hard. I found it a lot more difficult than the tools. So I've gone back to the original default vanilla armors, at least for the time being. I may work on them again in the future, I'm not sure. But the only thing I've done is I've updated the color palettes to reflect the color palettes of my tools. So like my diamond tools, they're not as turquoise, they don't have as much green in them as the default diamond stuff. So I made this a similar palette, and I made the iron armor a little darker as well to reflect this. Anyway, so we've got a new stone sword. I think it looks better. It looks more like a sword that you can recognize right away. If you looked at all these tools, all these stone tools, for the first time ever, I think you could recognize what was what. I also made the stone pickaxe a little bit longer so that it would look different from the axe and it wouldn't be as easy to mistake the two. Let's see what else. Oh, I've updated the iron sword so that now the iron sword, the diamond sword, and the gold sword are all kind of similar, but they have their differences. I removed that tapering from the diamond sword, so I think it looks a little bit more imposing now. It should be the most imposing sword, and then the gold sword should look a little bit more ornate. It's got this big jewelry pommel here. The blade on this isn't actually as long. The blade on the iron sword isn't as long as the diamond sword, but there's and the hilt here is different than this one. So they have similarities, but there's a progression, and they're all different. I like that. I made the this is kind of subtle, but I made the diamond shovel head a little smaller. I updated the diamond pickaxe. I like this a lot better now. It doesn't have that triangular look anymore, and it looks similar to these three, the three metal ones. So I think it's okay if the stone tools look a little bit different because it's a totally different material, but all three of these are metal. Well, okay, diamond isn't metal, but whatever, it doesn't matter. But I like to look at this. It's got this straight under edge, kind of similar to this, not exactly the same, not exactly the same. They're all different, but they all look like they belong in a set now. I remade the gold and diamond hose here, and they're actually the same shape as the iron one now, so they're all the exact same shape except for this right here. Let's see, what else? Oh, okay, so people wanted to make an item or a tool. I'll just go through this real quick. I'm using Control plus or minus. Plus or minus is between the 0 and your backspace to zoom in, zoom out. If you hold down space, a little hand will show up and you can drag the screen around. Then I'm going to use M for the marquee tool. And I'm going to pull this down. And then I'm going to hit Control X. Then I hit Control V. Okay. Then I hit Control D to unselect. Then I'm going to hit V is a hotkey for select. All right, and we're going to move this down here just to get it out of the way. And if you want to know the to like the edges of where you your canvas is, I guess. All the tools, everything, all the tiles on here are 16 by 16. So it should look like that. Let's see, where does this, yeah, that's on 64. So right here is going to be where we put our iron sword that we're going to build real quick. So I'm going to use I on the keyboard to get the eyedropper and select, actually, let me get on the right little thing here, the right layer. I to get this color here, then I'm going to use B for the pencil tool. And we're just going to, first thing you want to do is just get some like a basic outline. You want the hilt, something like this. Let's make, all these swords are straight swords. Let's make like a cutlass or something. So it's a lot of trial and error. You can use E to erase the pixels one at a time. Let's see, is this too, yeah, that's way too big. Let's back up. Come over here. So I'm just gonna draw some outlines and erase pixels and get an idea of kind of the overall shape this thing should be. If you want, you can make it totally solid. It may make it a little easier to see the outline you're working with. Do we want to make that bigger? Maybe we want to do this. If you want, you can use something you've done previously for reference. I do that a lot to save time. So maybe we want to move all of this. Oops. All of this like that. And then we can use Control E to collapse the layers so that these two are, I could just put that on the same layer. If I'm going kind of fast, I don't intend this to be a full-on tutorial. I'm just sort of rushing through it. For anything you want to learn how to do, be it video editing or doing something like this, people have asked me before as well to make editing tutorials. And what I would, my advice would be to go on YouTube, type in the program and what you want to learn. So like this, you might say, if you want to learn some editing, you might say Adobe Premiere transitions, and there like a bunch of tutorials will pop up for different transitions, how to use them, what they do, all that kind of stuff. And word of warning, not all tutorials on YouTube are created alike. I'm starting to like this outline we have now. But it needs more curve on this backside though, I think. And here's a problem you run into when you have these sort of diagonal shaped textures. Sometimes you have to, you run out of space easy, I guess. But search on YouTube for whatever you want to make, and a lot of tutorials on YouTube are really bad. Some are good, and you're just going to have to look to see which ones are good. But that's how I learned most of the things I do with editing. To be honest, I searched on YouTube for what I wanted to do. So I'll work on this for a minute just to get a nice outline, and then I'll go back to recording. Okay, actually I think this looks okay, and we'll just do this quick. So we're going to borrow the palette from my other tools in this column. So I'm going to use I to get the eyedropper to get this color, and I'm just going to start painting in these colors here and there. So I'm just switching back and forth from I and B for the eyedropper to get a color and the pencil to put the color down, like so. Let's see, let's use that here. We want a metal handle. We don't want a wood handle, that'd get chopped right off. Let's just do this real quick. And then you want to come in, let's get the lightest color and put it all up on the edge. We might want, for contrast's sake, to make the edge a little darker, just so it pops out. And whenever you're doing this, it's always a good idea to load the texture, the items.png back into a texture pack, and load it into Minecraft and see what it looks like in game, because it's going to look a little different in your hand than it does looking real close up like this. Something like this. Let's grab this guy. Yeah, and this is a lot of trial and error, and probably one of the best things you can do is find a texture pack you like and open the file up, look at it real close, just like we're looking at this, and see what they did, and then try and copy it. I'm not saying try and copy someone else's work, but try and learn from it. Something like this. And again, it's a lot of trial and error, so you could sit here for a long time doing this. Let's see. Let's try going back to the very dark edge. Something like that. Now I think down here, maybe we should go lighter. Maybe like this. And then let's put this here. And then as it comes up here, yeah, something like that. And it's a lot of trial and error, so there's no quick and easy way to do it. You just gotta sort of experiment. So there we go. There's sort of a basic cutlass type sword we've made pretty quickly. Can we put one more gradient in there? Seems like I'm missing one. No, that's the second darkest. Oh, this. Oh, there's a darker one here we can put in. There. Oh, there we go. So yeah, so let's put that in. Lighten up some of these. And then let's get the third one. And again, I'm copying a palette I've already used, so that's kind of a good way to get a head start on something. I don't know. I think it was better before. Something like that. Anyway, so that's just a little quick tutorial, and then you can load that back into a texture pack and look at it. So anyway, that's that. Let's go back to Minecraft and see what this new stuff looks like. Okay, so let's look at all that stuff in game, and as I said before, I have not one but 3 different texture packs based on general feedback from people. So here is the texture pack I've been using. It's mostly painterly pack textures with my tools, and now it has basically default armor, but I changed the palette just a little bit so that it blends in with the sword a little better. I tried at first the very original default armor, and it looked really weird with my tools being slightly different color, so I edited it a little bit. But other than that, it's the same texture itself. I just changed the tint. By the way, this is my texture pack tester map. If you're not familiar with it, if you want a copy of it, there's a link in the description for my my map thread on the Minecraft forums, and you can find it there. Okay, so here's the new tools. New diamond sword, new iron sword, new stone sword. I think the new tools, I think the new tools look really good. The armors are okay. I never really liked the default armors, but to be honest, I tried to make armors myself, and it's really freaking hard. So I may continue to work on it. I may start working on other things. I don't know. Let's see. So yeah, so this is the new painterly, basically the same texture pack I've been using for a while with updated tools. And then here's the next one. This one is the default texture pack. Oh, it's the default textures that the game comes with my tools added. And as I said before, the palette for the armors changed just a little bit. Just so that they don't look weird with the different colored diamond. The gold is a little bit different colors, but they're essentially the same. So if you want just the tools and you want to keep the vanilla look of Minecraft, there's a version of that. So this one is going to be called the Zistow's Texture Pack Vanilla 1.3. And I said they're all 1.3, but they're not really 1.3 because I haven't added emeralds or emerald blocks, but I will do that when the patch comes out. So if you want the default look, everything is default except for the tools. All the mobs and everything are default. Only thing different is the tools, if you want a version of that, because I know a lot of people basically have just asked for the tools by themselves. So now you can have it. And then there's a third version. First, let's see. It's on. Let's put it on easy. Let's pop in some animals here. So as you can see, these are all the default animal skins and monster skins. So I made a third texture pack that is going to be a little bit of a combination of the two. So this one I'm calling the Zistow's Texture Pack Hybrid, and it is mostly vanilla textures. It has my tools and the slightly edited armor palette, and it has all of the monsters and farm animals I've been using for a while. That some people like these, yeah, but may not want the painterly, terrain textures. So these monsters right here are from Norsecraft. This guy, the creeper, and I'm pretty sure the spiders are from there as well. And I think this guy as well. It's been a while since I put all that together, so I may be forgetting things or be slightly inaccurate, but it's mostly true. These two guys, the slimes, are from Painterly, as is this guy, and zombie pigmen did not show up. Oh, there he goes. I don't know what happened there. That's the default zombie pigman skin, obviously, because that's what I use. The ghast is from Pixeludi. Man, I love this ghast texture. He looks so freaky. Scares the hell out of me. And then I put the villagers back to default because I haven't really liked anybody's villager texture that I've seen. I don't really like the Painterly villagers. So that's back to default. The cats are Painterly. Dogs are Painterly. Mushrooms are Painterly. Squids are Norsecraft. And these four, the farm animals, are from a zombie horror survival pack, which was just for animals and monsters, but is now defunct, but I still like these. I like the way the sheep looks. I like the way the chicken looks. Some people say this looks like a bear, so but I think it looks like more like a cow than the default cow. And this is a boar. Some people are a little confused by this. Weird thing, when you release domesticated pigs into the wild, they go through this weird transformation. They start looking like this. They get brown, wiry hair and tusks, and they start acting differently. Their faces become shaped a little differently. So this is a boar. So anyway, so this is the hybrid version, and I've also replaced a few of the textures that I really just can't stand in default, like the glass right here. Is now the Painterly. It's a little easier to look through. It doesn't have the reflection, the glare, I guess you would say. I've also replaced the metal blocks because I just think the Painterly metal blocks are better. They look more like metal with the sheen on them and whatever. I've also replaced the ice block. Because it had the default ice block has the reflections just like the glass. So this is the Painterly ice block, and I've updated the glowstone to the Painterly glowstone, but I've left the glowstone lamp default vanilla because I kind of like it. However, this is probably the one thing I'm not sure about. I'm thinking about reverting the glowstone back to vanilla, even though I don't really like it. I think it belongs with this better. They don't look similar, and I think they should. What else? Oh, paintings. Let's run over here to the village and look at the paintings, and then we'll go back to Mindcrack and oh, nothing's enchanted. Actually, I don't want stuff blowing up here. This is just for testing. Okay, so here's the paintings. These are the paintings from Painterly Pack I like to use. They're all Monets. Much better than the default, I think. Much prettier. I may actually start updating the paintings to be something a little bit more personalized. Maybe put some Mindcrack members on these ones, maybe different portraits. That'd be kind of funny. Have different portraits on these faces, and then, I don't know. We'll see. But I've been thinking about customizing the paintings. So let's go back to Mindcrack and see what things look like in the 3 different texture packs. Alright, here we are outside of the old temporary house with the hybrid texture pack. Has my tools and slightly updated armor and a few updated terrain textures like the glass, but most of it's vanilla. And I have to say, that's a huge improvement. The main reason I stopped using vanilla to begin with was because of just a few blocks like the glass that I really just couldn't stand. And also because I like variety, like I talked about earlier. I like trying out new things. But yeah, I think it looks nice, actually. Looks pretty nice. And let's go up to the lens and take a look up there. Okay, so I also think the lens looks pretty good in default. Sandstone isn't really that different in Painterly Pack. Let's get a look at where's some glowstone we can look at. Let's see. There should be some in the melon farm. Yeah, I like the way that the default glowstone lamps look with sandstone. Let's get over. Where's my ender eyeballs? Shaboom! Yeah, I just don't. I'm thinking about reverting these because they don't look like the same thing, and they should. They should look. This should look like it's made out of this, and it doesn't. So that's the one thing I'm sort of hesitant on. But anyway, those 3 texture packs will now be in the description, and I will continue to update them. And if I change things, I'll let you know. Nothing I do really ever stays static. I'm always fiddling with things. So let me know what you think of the 3 different options. Things you like, things you dislike, things you think could be done better. I'm always open to criticism, but polite criticism, constructive criticism. Don't be mean, don't be a jerk, or you'll get banned. Haha! Okay, so next time we will finish off the mine shaft down there, and time after that we'll do more on the melon farm. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy the texture packs. See you later, take it easy, have a good day!